Council had prepared for this moment for 300 years. The Void Hunters, an ancient species that consumed entire civilizations, had finally turned their attention toward the inhabited sectors. Their dark fleet of 500. Warships emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the Sol system, each vessel the size of a small moon, bristling with weapons that could crack planets. Ambassador Kale of the Centauri Republic stood in the emergency session chamber, his blue skin pale with fear. "The humans must evacuate immediately," he declared to the assembled representatives. "Every simulation shows complete annihilation within hours." Representative Nira from the Vegan Confederacy nodded grimly. "Our combined fleets couldn't stop even 100 of their ships. 500 is impossible." The holographic display showed the massive alien armada slowly advancing through the outer planets, their energy signatures reading off the charts. Jupiter's moons were already being harvested for resources, the gas giant itself showing signs of atmospheric disturbance from their industrial operations. "We should recall all our forces to defend the core worlds," suggested General Taurus of the Andromedan Military Alliance. "Humanity had a good run, but they're too young, too inexperienced for warfare on this scale." The council chamber fell silent as they watched the tactical display. Humanity had only been part of the galactic community for 50 years. Their technology was considered primitive by most standards, their military doctrine unproven against serious threats. They possessed perhaps 24 capital ships and a handful of orbital defense platforms around Earth. Then the communication array crackled to life. "This is Admiral Jake Morgan of the Terran Defense Force," came a calm human voice. "We're receiving your distress signals and tactical assessments." Ambassador Kale leaned forward desperately. "Admiral, you must begin evacuation procedures immediately. Our projections show—" "Yeah, we saw your math," Jake interrupted. 500 ships, each one packing enough firepower to glass a continent. Pretty scary numbers." "Then you understand the situation," Nira said with relief. "How long do you need to evacuate your population centers?" There was a pause on the channel. When Jake spoke again, there was something different in his tone, something that made the hair on several species' necks stand up. "Evacuate?" Jake said. "Hell no! We're not running anywhere!" The council chamber erupted in confused chatter. "General," Taurus stepped forward. "Admiral, perhaps you don't fully comprehend the threat level. These aren't raiders or pirates. The Void Hunters have consumed 17 civilizations." "I heard you the first time," Jake replied. 500 warships just showed up in our backyard, started strip mining our neighbor's property, and you think we should run away?" On the tactical display, something impossible began to happen. Instead of fleeing, human ships were moving toward the threat. Not dozens of vessels, but hundreds, then thousands. "Where did all these ships come from?" Kale whispered. The human admiral chuckled. "You folks seem to have missed something in your intelligence reports. See, humans don't just build military vessels. Every cargo hauler, every mining ship, every passenger liner, every private yacht, they're all armed. It's kind of our thing." The display now showed a massive swarm of human vessels converging on the Void Hunter fleet. Cargo ships with missile pods welded to their hulls. Luxury liners bristling with point defense systems. Mining vessels carrying nuclear charges meant for asteroid cracking. "This is madness," General Taurus breathed. "Civilian ships against military. Dreadnoughts? Oh, these aren't civilians anymore," Jake said. "As of an hour ago, every human vessel in the system was drafted into the Defense Force, including the retirement cruise ship Sunset Dreams, whose passengers have an average age of 73 and absolutely nothing left to lose." The first engagement began near Mars. A Void Hunter scout ship, still massive by human standards, encountered a pack of modified freight haulers. The alien vessel's shields absorbed the initial barrage easily. But then something strange happened. The human ships didn't retreat. Instead, they kept coming, wave after wave, their crews seemingly indifferent to casualties. "They're ramming." "The alien ships," Nira observed in horror. "Correction," Jake said. "They're delivering presents. Each one of those ships is carrying about 50 megatons of very unfriendly surprises. Turns out, when you fill a cargo hold with nuclear warheads and fly it really, really fast into something, physics does most of the work for you." The tactical display lit up with explosions as human vessels sacrificed themselves in seemingly futile attacks against the vastly superior alien fleet. But something was wrong with the math. The Void Hunter ships were taking damage. Real damage. Admiral Jake's voice came through again, and now there was definitely something unsettling in his tone. "You see, the thing about humans is we're really, really good at killing things. We've been practicing on each other for about 10,000 years. We got so good at it, we had to invent new ways to stop ourselves from accidentally ending our own species." More human ships poured into the battle zone. Research vessels carrying experimental weapons, hospital ships that had been converted into mobile missile platforms, even garbage scows loaded with kinetic penetrators. "The Void Hunters are falling back," General Torres reported in disbelief. "Falling back?" Jake laughed. "They haven't seen anything yet. Johnson, activate the Luna batteries." Earth's moon suddenly lit up like a star. Massive railgun installations that had been disguised as mining operations began firing projectiles at near-light speed. Each shot carried the kinetic energy of a small asteroid impact. "When did humans build those?" Kale demanded. "About 30 years ago," Jake replied casually. "Right after we joined the council and started reading about all the nasty things that live in the dark between stars. Funny thing about humans, we really don't like surprises. So we prepared for pretty much everything." The Void Hunter fleet was in full retreat now, their ships burning as they tried to escape the Sol system. But the humans weren't done. Long-range interceptor craft, hidden throughout the asteroid belt, began harassing the fleeing aliens. "This is impossible," Nira whispered. "How are they winning?" Jake's voice carried a note of grim satisfaction. "You want to know the secret? It's simple. Every other species in the galaxy looks at 500 warships and sees an insurmountable threat. Humans look at 500 warships and see 500 targets. We've been waiting our whole lives for someone to give us a proper fight." The last of the Void Hunter ships disappeared into hyperspace, limping away from what should have been an easy conquest. The human fleet began recovery operations, pulling survivors from damaged vessels with the same casual efficiency they had shown in battle. Ambassador Kale stared at the tactical display in stunned silence. The humans had not only survived an encounter with the galaxy's most feared predators, they had driven them off completely. "Admiral Morgan," he finally managed, "how many casualties did you take?" There was a pause. "About what we expected. Maybe a bit less. The retirement cruise passengers were particularly effective. Turns out when you've got nothing to lose and a lifetime of accumulated anger, you make a pretty decent kamikaze pilot." The communication channel went quiet for a moment before Jake spoke again, his voice carrying across the silent council chamber. "Oh, and council members? Next time something like this shows up, maybe don't assume we need rescuing. We've been the apex predator on our world for a very long time. We didn't get to the top of the food chain by running away." The transmission ended, leaving the galactic representatives staring at the aftermath of the most one-sided battle in recorded history. 500 Void Hunter warships had arrived expecting easy prey. Instead, they had encountered humanity, and humanity was very, very good at turning predators into victims.